He's Jerry West, the Hall of Famer, and now a special consultant to the Clippers. Man, it still sounds strange to have that title there with the Clippers there. Jerry, how's everything going?
Everything's good, Dan, and thanks for having me on your show.
All right, what is your official job?
Well, I'm actually very much like I was when I was involved with the Warriors, 6 incredible years, being part of something that was really special, and not having to be the out front person was very appealing to me. And it's going to be very much like that. So I'm hopeful that I can help make a difference. You never know that. It's never a given. But I think everyone is different, Dan. You've had a couple of different opportunities to move into different areas, even though it's the same field. It feels good when you're wanted, number one. But number two, if you feel like you can help make a difference. Frankly, even though I'm older, I just don't feel like I'm ready to retire, to be honest with you. I have a reason to get up in the morning. I'm back in Los Angeles with people I know and respect, and I think there's going to be an incredible owner here in Steve Ballmer. He's fantastic to be around, I'll tell you that.
What is the first order of business for you?
Well, actually, I've had a couple of conversations with Doc and Lawrence Franks, who are the two people that I'm going to be responsible for, and trying to, sometimes you don't really control everything that you would like to control in terms of player personnel, and I'm talking about the Clippers with 3 players that are free agents. That's, I think, the first order of business, and, we've talked about that, talked about some plans that they have, and some things that they hopefully want to implement. But anyway, very much like I was involved with the Warriors.
Chris Paul, I guess, top of the priority list of knowing what he's going to do, and have you had an opportunity to reach out to Chris to find out what his thoughts are on staying or testing free agency?
I really haven't, and that would be very premature for me, to be honest with you. As I say, I know Chris, I have unbelievable respect for him, and I just think he's one of those elite players that come along every once in a while. He just plays, and he's been one of the not only best point guards in the league, but he's one of the best defenders at his position that I think I've ever seen. So I'm hopeful that he'll be part of the Clippers' future as everyone else is over there.
When you make a trade, are you more likely to make a trade with somebody that you're friendly with, or is it just you're trying to get an asset whether you're friends with a GM or not?
Well, I think all the people who have worked in this league intimately, I don't know some of the younger people in the league, but Lawrence Franks is the person who's going to be dealing in those areas. And, most people think trades are made to one team to get an advantage. That's not the way a trade is supposed to work. And, frankly, I think it's kind of insulting that if you called someone, you might have 2 or 3 players at one position that somebody's expendable, and somebody might have the same situation on another team. So if there's a trade that can be worked out that both sides feel comfortable with it, great. Afterwards, people are going to be curious about why trades are made. And then secondly, they're always going to have the opinion who got the best out of the deal. I've never felt that was fair for either side of the fence, regardless of what player you're acquiring. I think it's supposed to be a win-win situation for everyone.
We look at the draft differently than we did 5 years, 10, 15, 20 years ago. The importance of the three-point shot, being able to either shoot it or defend it, how much has that affected the draft strategy with what these teams are doing now?
Well, Dan, I don't know if that affects the draft strategy, but shooting should always be a premium. The team that scores the most points is going to win. The team that plays the smartest is going to win. And I think it really helps to have players that are multi-talented, not just scorers, not just offensive players, but versatility is really a key today in this league. And I think, again, there's always a team in every era that someone wants to emulate. And now it will be the Warriors and the Rockets. People will watch them play. I think one game they might have shot 55 threes, which is an incredible amount of three-point shots. And, there's risk and dangers with doing that. If you're making them, fine, but otherwise it's almost impossible to defend if you're not. But I think right now that the Warriors are the it team, they're the glamour team. But to have three players that can make a lot of threes and from distances that no one would even think about taking and making, everyone wants to be like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant because of their enormous shooting abilities. But you have to have cohesive players and players that can do a lot of different things. And the Warriors won the championship because they were a well-rounded team, a very good defensive team, 4 All-Stars on one team. And so that's always the goal for other people. And I think you have to be realistic of what your chances are to acquire those kind of players. More importantly, it shows you how productive the draft can be if you draft the right players. But we get so many young players in the league today, and they get a lot of hype, and some of them just don't turn out to be what everyone wants them to be, and particularly the people who draft them. But, it's like chasing your tail sometimes, Dan. You have people that work extremely hard in these organizations, and sometimes they don't get the results they want, and other times it's very, very important. But as you mentioned, Thursday night is time for hope for all these teams that haven't done well. And obviously it's the most exciting time to be involved when you have first-round draft picks and you're in a position maybe to draft someone you really like a lot more than someone else likes. That's the fun part of it.
We're talking to Jerry West, who's now an advisor for the L.A. Clippers, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. And by the way, Golden State, the front office doesn't get enough credit that you did get Steph Curry, you did take Klay Thompson, you did get Draymond Green, you made smart draft picks, and it benefited you. I know you get Kevin Durant, but stepping back from this as we move forward, are the Warriors good for the NBA that they're that good, Jerry, and that it might be predictable that they're going back to an NBA Finals barring an injury?
Well, Dan, they should go back to the NBA Finals if they don't have anything tragic to happen to them. This is a young team, right in its prime. Some of these players haven't gotten there yet. I think it's great for the NBA, and really, I think if you watch how these players conduct themselves, Dan, it's the most incredible group of young, exciting players I've ever been around. Forget the fact that the talent and the fact that they win a lot. This organization really is classy. We got a classy head coach in Steve Kerr. Bob Myers is as good as it gets, a wonderful person, a great voice for the franchise. The ownership group, oh my gosh, I can't imagine have this many people who have been successful in their own rights. And when you have conference calls with them, it is an ideal situation. And things can change overnight. People don't realize one misstep, something terrible happen, things can go awry very quickly. But, you'd like to think they're going to be healthy and go forward. And to me, if I were a fan, regardless of where they are, I would, if the Warriors are coming in town, I would like to watch them play because they play basketball the correct way, passing the ball, moving the ball. And in this league, again, people follow trends. Certainly the people, there's people with all the statistics. They have everything that organization needs to see the weaknesses of their team. It's a great training for young kids who have weaknesses, and most people want to. Most people who are involved really want to try to improve. And these young kids who need so much help, they can see by these statistical analysis of them, they can see where their weaknesses are. For coaches, they're an incredible tool when you watch other teams play. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the right mix of players, you're still not going to be able to achieve the goals that you want. And that's why it's so necessary to make really great decisions. Don't spend your money wisely and try not to make mistakes. Everyone makes them. If you make them, don't try to. Anyway, you just don't want to try to justify mistakes. You have to move on, admit you made a mistake, and try to not make them in the future.
How many would you average with Golden State right now?
I have no idea, but with playing with the way they play, you get a lot of free, easy shots. Kevin Durant, when he was in Oklahoma City, they didn't have the same kind of people around him, and he was the third used in number of shots attempts taken on the team. And you hear the people that are going to have to change their games. It was Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Well, they all shot. Both of them shot more shots than Kevin. And again, it's a sign of not only a great player, but someone who's a great teammate. And that's the beautiful thing when people go into the game and when you're one instead of kind of a house divided.
Yeah. He never took 22 shots in a game in a season. Never averaged that. You did it, I think, 5 or 6 times where you got at least 22 shots or you averaged that in a season.
Well, again, if you look at the Lakers when first came to Los Angeles, Elgin Baylor was obviously my hero when I came here, and he and I, after a couple of years, if we didn't score 70 points a night, we probably weren't going to have much of a chance to win. It's not a fun way to play, by the way. You're going to get numbers, but at the end of the year, unless something incredible happens, you're not going to reach the goals that I think every player who's in the NBA wants to achieve. Everyone talks about winning a championship. It's the most difficult thing to do unless you're on a team that's packed and plays the right way.
Well, congrats. Good luck with this. Will you be in the building when the Lakers play the Clippers?
I doubt if I'll be in the building. I doubt if I'll be in the building when they play the Warriors.
Oh, really? Wait.
No. As I say, Dan, I make light of things like that.
Okay.
I'm thrilled that I'm involved with Doc Rivers and Lawrence Frank, who I'll be reporting to, and also again, who I think is an incredible owner, and Steve Ballmer. Owners make a difference, and he's going to make a difference for sure.
Thank you, Jerry. It's great to talk to you again, and congrats on the job.
Well, thank you, Dan. Always nice to visit with you.
That's the great Jerry West.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.